James here from goodguitarist.com, and in today's lesson I'm going to show you how to play All I Want by Kodaline. As far as the chords are concerned, this song's pretty basic. It just uses a handful of, the first 10 chords that everybody learns. And if you do need help with any of the components of this song, you find that it's just not coming together, I have a couple of resources for you. There's my free ebook, and it's free to all my subscribers, and it goes over all the basics of rhythm guitar. So the most common basic chord shapes, how to switch between them, strumming patterns and rhythm stuff. There's a whole bunch of videos that go with it. And I also have a complete beginner's course. And in that, we do what we do in the ebook, but times 100. It's just a step-by-step guide through all the basics. And it pretty much guarantees that in 12 weeks, you're going to be able to play along with tons of your favorite songs. There's links to both of those down below, so check those out if you're interested in getting a head start with it. Otherwise, we're going to start out with the chord shapes, and our first one is a C chord. From there, we're going to switch to F, and I like this version of the F chord. It's really easy for beginners. We skip the first string, first finger on the first fret of the next one, second finger on the second fret, get my pinky finger on the third fret of the D string, my ring finger on the third fret of the A string, and then I like to put my thumb over the top so it lightly touches the string, which mutes it. So I'm muting the top string and the bottom string. Doesn't really matter if the top string rings out. It sounds kind of pretty in this song, but sometimes it does matter. And when we're switching from this one to C, it's so easy. We leave down both of these fingers. So we can leave our first and our third finger where they are. That's the C chord, and I switch to F. Just try to get your head around that, try it a few times. It's a really, really quick switch if you do it that way. We have a G over B chord, and that's just a G chord. And if you play your G chord like this, all you gotta do is you just take off that middle finger, and I like to get my thumb lightly touching the low string. Now that's the lowest note of our chord, and that note is B. The last chord shape that we have is A minor. And once again, if you need any help with these chords, I have tons of videos that go over all this stuff in my free ebook. There's a link down below. It's free to all my subscribers. And now that we've taken a look at the chord shapes, let's practice playing them in order. Starting off on C, and I'm going to be counting 1, 2 for each measure, and that'll tie into our strumming pattern later. But for now, it is really important that you count along and you get the chord for the right number of times, because this song has an irregular form. It's actually broken down into 7 measures, and then 7 measures, and 7 measures, and 7 measures, and that's really strange for music. Usually, music's broken down into 4s, 4 measures of this, 4 measures of that. This one, it's 7. So you'll have to pay really close attention to the counting, and then eventually, if you do it that way, you'll be able to feel when the chords are going to change. But it all starts with the counting. So let's do that on a C chord, keeping it really simple, just downstrokes only, just with my thumb. Here we go. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, F, 2, back to C, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, in, dun, dun, dun. 1, 2, 1. Once you have that together, you can strum and count along and you're switching chords at the right time. That means we're ready to take a look at the strumming pattern, which goes like this. I'll play it a lot slower now. 1 and a 2 and a. So right now you're probably thinking like, is that really the strumming pattern? Like that looks way too easy. You're just playing every single down and upstroke. And what makes it sound like a strumming pattern and not just like a never-ending stream of down and upstrokes is accenting the very first beat. So we're gonna play beat 1 with a lot more force than the rest of it, like this. 1 and a 2 and a 1 and a 2 and a 1 and a 2 and. So 1 is really emphasized. And you can see that the counting is 1 and a, 2 and a. And since before we were counting 1, 2, 1, 2, and now all we gotta do is fill in those and-as, and that's it. So take a moment with that strumming, just try it out on a single chord. This one's all about the tone. I'm using my thumb, and I'm pretty sure that's what they're using on the recording because it sounds so soft. You can't really hear too much of that, attack sound. It's mostly that. So I'm just using the side of my thumb, and you can see I'm just kind of grazing the string up and down, trying not to get my thumbnail in there. It'll make the upstrokes stand out too much, but just gently doing that. Anyways, take a moment with that, get it a whole bunch of times. Be sure to emphasize beat 1. 1 and a 2 and a 1 and a 2 and a. And once you have that, we can put that together with the chords. And we're gonna be playing through the whole verse 2 times. The second time we do it, we're going to switch to G over B near the very end. You'll see all that information scrolling across the top of the screen. Anyways, here we go. 1 and a 2 and a 1 and a 2 and a. All right, next we're gonna take a look at the chorus. And for the chorus, we have one new chord shape. It's just a G chord. And that's pretty much it. Now, for the counting, this one's a little bit easier. We're just gonna play our strumming pattern 4 times on A minor, 4 times on F, 4 times on C, 4 times on G. So it's just 4 times on everything. And just do that a couple times. This part's a lot simpler. And rather than play the chords in order with downstrokes, let's just do it with our strumming pattern right away since it's not that difficult. And you can always watch this part a few times and maybe just watch it the first time and then rewind it and try it the second, third, fourth time. You got to practice a lot and keep repeating the same things over and over again, and that's how you really get it into your muscle memory. Anyways, here we go. 1 and a 2 and a 1 and a 2 and a. Alright, so there's only one part left, and that's the instrumental bit. And we do need a new chord shape for this. It's a D minor chord. And I want to show you how to strum the instrumental part in case you're playing with another musician and they can do the like. And the rhythm part is just going to be D minor to G, a couple times, and then we're gonna play the chords from the chorus. So let's just try that together. Once again, you can watch it the first time, rewind it, and try it, try it later on subsequent viewings of it. So here we go. 1 and a 2 and a 1 and a 2 and a. All right, so with what we've learned so far, you could get through the entire song. That's all it takes to strum through the song. You could sing it. Now, just for fun, let's figure out a cool thing that we can do over that instrumental part, just to kind of spice it up. It'll sound like this. And then I would cut out the rest of the instrumental part if you're not playing with somebody who's taking a solo. Like, if you do have somebody else to play guitar, it's super fun for, one person to play the chords while the other person rips a little solo, that'll be pretty cool. But for just a instrumental performance of it, I think what I just did right there is totally enough to break up the tune and break up the different sections, because that's what it's for, is just to add some variety to the song. Anyways, as far as playing this part's concerned, what we got to do is go up here to the 5th fret with our first finger, 6th fret with our middle finger, 7th. So it's just diagonally in a row, 5, 6, 7. And then we have the open D string. And I just strum them all. And I'm just, keeping up a rhythm like that just on the D string. Then I go. So I strum all of them. And I put my pinky on the 7th fret, and then I put my pinky on the 8th fret. And I'm just plucking with my first finger. Then I play, it's basically a D shape, but instead of playing it down here with my first finger on the 2nd fret, I go 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way up here so that I'm on the 7th, 8th, and 7th fret. And I still have the open D string. And I'm still doing the same thing with that. And before I change back, I go. So I play like a D sus4 shape. And then I go back to that first thing. And I do it again. And then here I just strum this and I just get more. Go back into the chorus or wherever you want to go with that one. So it's just something nifty to work on that you can throw into the tune just as a little bonus. I wouldn't worry about it too much though. You can still play through the whole tune with what we've learned so far. But if you want to up the challenge, take it to the next level, that's a little something you could add to the tune. All right, so that's how you play All I Want by Kodaline. I have no idea how to say it. That's how you play the song though. And remember to spend some time getting a nice tone strumming with your thumb. That'll make it sound a lot more like the original recording. Totally welcome to play it with a pick or with your fingers or however else you do it. But I find that with the thumb, it makes it nice and gentle. And as long as you accent that beat one, it'll sound like the tune. Other than that, I hope you have a good time practicing this one, and I'll see you soon.